Very dear people, first of all, I must tell you how much I can be angry against the federal government of Mr. Justin Trudeau, because that man is not right at all with us. You know, that man is only for himself and his ministers. Okay, the Liberal government has been extremely bad so far. You know, just look at what's going on right now with the SNC-Lavalin. Do you remember when I told you that whenever Mr. Trudeau was in shit, he always gets out of it? Always. It's been like that since forever. But you know, since he has his election in 2015, everything looks the same right now, okay? I can't tell you that he did that good things, because every time I heard bad things about him, I knew it was normal, okay? It is normal for him to have bad things. That's the only thing he can do so far, you know? And I would like to reiterate the point that I was mentioning to you before about his fucking ability to run our country. Mr. Scheer, you know, you are a right man. You are a good man to tell Mr. Trudeau that he should resign. But the thing is, Mr. Trudeau will never resign because he has all kind of fucking Muslims behind him. We're talking about possibly 2 millions of them. And those 2 millions of them, Mr. Trudeau will give them the opportunity to vote. He will give them the right to vote, you know. Usually they were not supposed to be voting, but now they will be voting. Mr. Scheer, is there a way you could talk to the DGE, Director General of Election, mentioning him that all the Muslims, all the immigrants coming here in Canada are not allowed to vote? I would say within 5 years that they are on our ground, you know. It would just make sense to have that way, you know. Because if we don't do that, everybody that come in here in Canada, they will vote for Mr. Trudeau because he is the one who is bringing them here, you know. Think twice of it. You have to think twice. You really have to think twice of it. Because your neighbor might be a Muslim, and in his apartment there might be 15 or 20 person in the same apartment, you know. And if you decide to do something, well, I am with you big time. Myself, I live in the block here, block of condo. There is no Muslim, but if ever a Muslim come in, I will move right away, okay? I will not stay here. Because myself, I hate Muslims. I hate Muslims. The reason is simple. It's because, you know, we have our custom to live here in Canada. We're living our own way. So whenever Muslim comes here in Canada, he's coming here with his fucking custom, and he wants to stay with that fucking shit, you know. Same thing if you look at women wearing hijab, they will not remove their fucking hijab. They will walk between the public with their hijab, and they will be kept looking at her all the time. You know, it is not simple as that, because if you think of it, those fucking women, Muslims, are not right wearing a hijab, because it is totally different than us here in Canada. We don't see women from Canada wearing fucking hijab. They were well, I should say that women before they were wearing something on their head, but you were able to see a part of their hairs. But as far as I'm concerned, those fucking Muslim women, you don't see fuck all, okay? The only thing you can see of their skin is the fucking hands and the face, and that's all. It's not right to see those women here, because it's a sign of oppression. It's a big sign of oppression, and it is the truth about it. Just realize that the oppression is criminal, okay? The oppression is criminal, because if you think of it, a man can beat his wife because she's not wearing a hijab. I've seen that in the past. I have seen many videos on YouTube, and they're talking about hijab. A hijab, is not tolerated here in Canada because you're different than any other woman. Enough talking about that. Let me talk about Mr. Sajjan. Mr. Sajjan, you are not right to act that way, because whenever you take the word, the word always comes from down below, and down below that's the military police. I am against the military police, so there is a huge conflict of interest right there, because you are minister and you are protecting those fucking idiots of military police, and I am against the military police. So in other words, the letter you have sent to me is not good. I do not tolerate, or I do not accept that fucking letters you sent to me, because it's a huge conflict of interest. You took the word from down below, and down below is the strictly military police, and you took their words. How come you're not taking my word? I tell you right now, just take a look at the military police report, and you will find out why I am so angry against the military police. Because, the military police report tells you on its own that there was no investigation done. Because if there would have been investigation done, it would have been marked in the military police report, but it is not there. So the military police report is against them big time. Mr. Sajjan, okay? I'm talking again about your fucking crap hijab you have on your head. I tell you right now, the turban shows us Canadian population that your religion come first before your service while you were serving in DND. Because, in DND, we're supposed to be a uniform, but since you're wearing a turban with the military dress, it is not called a uniform anymore. It's called a costume, because if you're wearing a turban, I would say more that a uniform is uniform. We're strictly wearing all the same fucking thing. A beret or a helmet for war. But if you're not wearing it, where you're totally a part of your people, and since you are totally a part of your people, it doesn't make sense that you are a service member. You're not a service member because no one took the advantage of checking underneath of your turban, because if it would have been the case, you would have not been serving in DND. As for minister, it is the same fucking crap. You are wearing a turban. So other countries are thinking that since you're wearing a turban and Minister of National Defense, they're saying that we needed people like you to run the National Defense, while there were so many CDS on retirement right now, because those people could have been a better minister than yourself, because they knew a lot more than you do. You were lieutenant colonel and they were general. So, it's not hard to understand, because if you take into consideration that the general knows better than you, knows better than a lieutenant colonel, okay? And Mr. Trudeau should have picked one of those chief of defense staff on retirement rather than picking you and as a minister. The reason why he picked you up is because he wanted to get some Muslims in running the country, which is no good, because Mr. Trudeau is an Islamist himself, and of course he's gonna pray for all the Muslims, and this is what he's been doing so far. Just take a look at everything I put in my emails, and you will understand what my concern. Okay, so if I tell you that, it's because I've seen it, I've understood, and I've put that in my email, and everything is there for you to understand. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.